Hello everyone, it's me, Chaff Commander Coffee, back with another episode of Shogun 2 Total War, Master of Strategy. Right, let's just get straight back into it, with a couple of effects going on. Right, we were just waiting for our peace deal to end with the Nanbu, which I believe it just has. Yep, it certainly has. Right, which means we need to finish them off. Now, our army here is ready. I can't imagine no Heiji Castle has as powerful a force as ours, but this is the force that I really need to win the fight with. I don't think they have any samurai really. Oh, owing to recent treaties, turns remaining 5. I wonder why that is. Oh, is it because of if I cancel trade, is that gonna affect that? No? Okay. Why can I not just declare war on them then? 5 turns remaining. Oh, well, never mind. In that case, looks like we've got some more building up to do. I figured we'd be able to declare war on them straight away. Never mind, we've got plenty of building we need to get done, which is going to cost us some coin. I wanted some of these Yuyas to be built into brothels, because they make a lot more money. We need tea though. It's not something we get a hold of easily. I'll tell you what, we'll save the coin because we can probably use it to build more marketplaces or something similar. Mind getting some more troops over here. I don't have another general. Do I have another general for them? Don't have another general for them as of right now. Where's my other agent gone? I had 2 months. Oh, he was coming up ground to do a little bit of scouting. Let's have him continue his little scouting. Okay, nothing special yet. Tech-wise, going for flaming arrows. Pretty handy tech to have for both sieges and field combat. Just to give a bit of a morale shock, particularly effective against those militia that we keep fighting. But once we start attacking the more consolidated clans further south, their armies will be no joke, because they will have a mixture of all sorts of troops. Monks, possibly Ronin, samurai, maybe even veteran samurai at this point. It would depend, because a lot of the units are resource requirement based, so the AI cannot ignore those. If they don't have the resources for a unit, they cannot recruit them. I wouldn't mind building more farms, but we've actually got plenty of food now. I would like to build more markets though. More markets would be great. Oh, I can build this crafts workshop up. And goods are one of the more expensive trade resources right now. Could also build this up into an encampment. Wouldn't mind having an Ashgaru encampment somewhere in the lands. But I wouldn't mind getting veteran Ashgaru because they're quite good. They're actually pretty decent units. I think we're going to start with building this goods crafts workshop up and end the turn. So we'll just do a little bit of building whilst we're waiting for our peace deal to end with the Nanbu. Is Taraiki Castle owned by the Kasai? If so, Kasai's actually got quite a large force, which I'd rather not tangle with just yet. At least until we have a consolidated army to go and face them in the field. Now, as I said previously, ideally we want 4 armies. We want 1 to engage, or two armies on either side of the mountain range here as we push south. That will mean going to war with the Date. Going to war with the Date is probably going to end with mass war all over the shop. We do need to keep in mind when the realm divide happens, which won't happen for a while, but when that does happen, our vassals are going to declare war on us. Now, we only have 1 vassal left, but keep moving them down. So that's owned by the Kasai. This is owned by the Kasai. So the Kasai have got about, like, they almost have 4 full stack armies themselves. Goods workshop and a temple. They might have monks. That would be kind of scary if they had monks available to them. Let's get another market built. Now that is something I would like to... Yeah, that allows merchant villages in the divers village. That is something we'll probably have to grab. Just for the upgrades to our, whatchamacallit, to our ports and things. Okie dokie. Rightio. Okay, yep. Seem to be doing just fine. Income can just stay at minimal. That'll keep the lands pacified. But yeah, we can't afford to waste too much time. It's not waste, but you know what I mean. Like we are on a time limit. It is quite a long time limit, but you'd be surprised how long it takes to carve your way through Japan. Especially on a domination victory. It's 150 provinces. It's not a small endeavor. But I'm sure we can manage it. Ranged expertise. And now we have significant advances. We get 50% more tech for 8 turns. Wow. Okay, we should probably really consider what we're researching in that case. We could get Tepos in 2 turns. That improves the rate at which we master arts, but it's not going to make much of a difference, I don't think. Okay, we could get these 2 in 2 turns. Get them. Ooh. I could just get Commerce Guild in 9 and then come back and research Flammable Arrow. I do want Commerce Guild, it's actually going to be really handy, so let's grab Commerce Guilds. That'll improve our trade tariffs, so we'll just make even more money. Making more money is pretty good. We're going to need more irrigation in some of these provinces. Because I'm not bothered about building hunters' tents. We have a province that produces good archers. We don't need a pasture. That's more for Minato Castle, which we might have to move our recruitment somewhere else. Though I don't mind recruiting men back in Minato Castle because we can get ships to come down to fight the Waisugi, or we could just push on that. We could just kill the Daihuji at some point, which we most likely will. Let's get this market built. I think that's a farmer's village. Yeah, it is a farmer's village. I don't mind having... Being inundated with farmers' villages is fine. Urban towns are kind of like your big money makers, but farmers' villages keep your unrest low. So that's also pretty good. And samurai towns, I tend to keep... I mean, you could, in theory, just build nothing but samurai towns. They're not bad. They reduce the construction cost of buildings. They give repression. You get more samurai units, so especially with a team like Mogami that does have better samurai, it can be pretty good to just spam samurai towns, but they're not as good for commerce as the other 2. Farmers' villages make everything to build a bit more expensive, but they do provide quite a lot of value in their growth. Oh, we got another prosperity one. Wow. Let's just take prosperity. Let's just get more town growth. We've got +8 to our town growth, which in a time of peace like this is incredibly important. Because the more our towns have, because the wealth of a town. So if we take a look at the Ishikawa Castle, for example. Well, let's take a look at one of our big money producing towns, like our capital. So Yamagata Castle. It makes 347 gold from farming, which is from the improved irrigation here. 682 from commerce, which will be from the market, which is worth 208, the good crafts workshop, which is 130, and then I believe it's from any trade routes going through it, and then town. So this is the actual wealth of the town, and it's affected by these. If you've played Shogun, you already know this. So buildings give a bonus to your economic growth. Your tax level reduces it, and then other, which would be from, for example, prosperity event, that will increase that as well. So we get +8. So we get +8 to this value every turn. Now that's important because when you tax a province at minimal taxes, we're only taking 17% of its actual wealth value. So when you see 1,385 and you're looking, oh, we're only making 1,359 gold, and that's from one town, like, you must be spending so much gold on soldiers. No, it's because the tax rate is, if I was to increase the tax rate up to, say, normal, we would be taxing each town for 26% of its wealth. Well, some of them, it does depend on town to town, like how much you're taxing them for. So in richer towns, you tax them a bit more than others. But yeah, I like to keep it on minimal. Just keep the unrest down, keep the town wealth growing. I think the tax level at low, if I'm not mistaken, no, it does reduce the town growth even further, so I do like to keep it on minimal. Because at the end of the day, like, we've still got hundreds of turns left in the game. Quite a lot of turns, actually. Since it's 12 turns a year, and we have about over 40 years left, 50 years, or just under 50, like 47 years. So that is a long time. And having an extra point of growth for those however many turns will actually end up reaping the benefits further down the line. And every time a province has negative public order and it says, oh, we're going to have a revolt, it doesn't actually revolt the turn that it says it's going to have a revolt, but it does reduce the town wealth by 25. So if you constantly try and, like, fudge your taxes around to try and make the most money turn on turn, and you keep causing yourself to have, like, pseudo revolts, you'll actually hurt the economy of your empire more. So it's better. I prefer to take a bit of a lax approach to it. At the end of the day, if you can't run your empire on minimal taxes, when you do really need the coin and have to bump the taxes up, you'll be able to, because your public order will be stabilized. So it's more like I use the higher levels of tax rate as like a lifeline if I really need coin the next turn. Or, you know, even if it's like I only need an extra 100 to build like a new castle or something, then I might put the taxes up. But I try to keep it on minimal as much as possible. Right, now that should be the point we can declare war on the Nambu. Yes, we can. Cool. Right, well, let's get to it then. We do have a monk over here that I wouldn't mind bringing up, so let's bring him up. I could wait another turn to have the monk ready to join the army, but we're not going to bother. We're just going to declare war. Knock all our allies in. A bunch of militia, no general, so we're just going to let them come out at us. And this army's going to come down and attack this force here. So militia, but we do actually have to fight this battle, so save the game quickly. This should be a fairly easy fight for our army, so let's get it over and done with. So I think we'll finish off the Nambu clan this episode and then worry about expanding past that point, which will mean getting rid of the Tozawa clan, possibly fighting Kasai, but if we fight Kasai then Date will go to war with us, and Date has like 5 allies, so yeah. Although beating the Date in a proxy war by declaring war on the Kasai means they won't have all their allies in the war immediately. So that's actually one way around that. So yeah, going to war with the Kasai is probably what we're going to do. I don't think we want to make any more vassals. I think we're past the stage of creating vassals. We have enough of an economy by ourselves. We don't need to buffer our borders anymore. Like, vassalizing the Daihuji keeps Uesugi off of our back, which was quite important at the time. So let's have... I can't tell if the music's a bit too loud or not, but let's start deployment. Let's have a little bit of a general speech. Haven't had a field battle general speech in a while. We always have castle ones.
敵方に一人でも生き残りがいる限り、この刀鞘には収めん。すべてはお家のためじゃ。我が敵は 奴らの領主と一門に忠誠を誓う勇敢な侍どもだ。あの者どもを滅ぼすとなると心が痛むが、これも運命のなせる技。仕方なかろう。もう向上は十分だ。戦いの時、わしにとっては総大将の技量を発揮する時だ。お主らに無駄死にはさせんぞ。
Okay, so the beginning army is going to be on the smaller side. Just got to decide how we want to approach this. Alright, let's get our front line sorted. Okay. Now the Yamabushi I'm going to leave as a reserve, like sort of a flank unit, because they're pretty quick. So they have quite a few archers in their starting force. I don't know where their reinforcements are coming from, so I don't want to position my guys in the vanguard too aggressively. But I might pop these Yamabushi archers over here. Since they can always go into Kisho stealth. Have our light cavalry ready to jump in if they're needed. We could even place some of our Tetsubos. They're not going to hide in these forests, they're too small, I think. Yeah, the forests are too small there. Could pop them over here, I suppose. But we are going to want to move our entire army up pretty quickly, so... Alright, let's grab your archers, pop them just there. We're going to have to try and advance on this right flank a bit more because of that hill there. Naginata can come back a bit. Ah, we do have Yari Wall now. Ah, I forgot about that. Okay, that changes things. Because Naginata units can also use Yari Wall. They don't have a very good Yari Wall, but they can do it, and it helps them hold their formation a bit better. But it's Yari Samurai that get the biggest bonus for that sort of thing. Let's just take a look. So, we can either go to Yari Square, or Spear Square, which is actually a really good formation. I don't think people use this enough, but Spear Square is actually really good. Cavalry get absolutely ruined by Spear Square. But then there's also Yari Wall, which, yeah, it just lets them, it keeps their formation a bit tighter, which makes them a lot better against, like, frontal engagements. And many times I've said, Spear Square has been nerfed. Now, as you can see, the Yari Ashigari don't actually get Spear Square. It's only the Samurai who get it. But the Ashigari do get Yari Wall. Now, the reason I said it's nerfed is mostly because you might not have noticed, because I don't like zoom down to watch the battles very much because I'm busy like making sure we win them. But Yari units are forced to use their Yaris. So in original Shogun 2, if your Yari spearmen get engaged with other infantry, they pull out their katanas. In Master of Strategy, they're forced to use their Yaris. Which means when you have your guys in Yari Wall, the enemy units that have Yaris as well can still fight them. Like, they still engage in those, like, Shogun 2, like, 1v1 kind of, like, duel animations. Which means that Yari Wall's a lot less effective than it used to be, because units can get close enough to actually use their... to actually do the duel animations. So that's why Yari Wall is a lot less effective in Master of Strategy. It's still very good, like Yari Wall against like katana units and that sort of thing is still very, very effective. And again, it does increase their density, which makes them much better in a frontal engagement. So yeah, just a bit of a tactical discussion there. Anyway. Let's see, so we'll grab these Yari and Naginata units and pop them right there. Let's grab our shock units, pop them right there. Have our generals with the Naginatas. And these guys will just be moving forward, so we'll group them up. I'm just trying to think which hill the enemy's going to head for. Because they could put their defences up here. If they spawn on this side, they could come up here. If they spawn from behind, they'll likely try to pull back to this hill, or perhaps even this hill at the far back. They might even try push forward. If they spawn on this side, they might actually come up here, which would be a nuisance. Right, well, let's not think about that too much now. Let's get the army moving forward. So we've got these guys in Kisho stealth, so they can't see my Yumi Yamabushi as they fire on them. That is a lot of militia, and it looks like they're pulling back, so here's their army, it's over there. So let's pull these light cavalry around that flank. These light cavalry can start moving up, and these Tetsubos are going to have to move up with the main line, because we're not sure where they're going to be coming from, but... So we're firing on these Yumi militia here, which are getting absolutely massacred by our Yamabushi. They won't last very long. In fact, I'll probably just pull the cavalry in to deal with them. We've got enemy generals over here, actually. Let's pull these guys back a bit. Pull them back around that flank. I'm not sure exactly where the enemies are planning on. They're kind of like milling around in a giant clump here. I don't know where they're planning on actually setting their line up. Move these guys up a little bit. Move the cavalry over there. Got some Yumi militia coming up onto this hill here. Now their army is running into position by the looks of it, so let's take a look. It looks like they're running, yeah, so we should engage them soon whilst they're tired. Once our army's in position, we'll just go for a frontal engagement, I think. And these guys on this hill, now, they might be a problem, or would perhaps be a problem, if I didn't have a plan for them. So, all the Yamabushi monks have this pretty cool thing called Kisho Stealth, which you can use to engage archers pretty effectively, to be honest, especially since my guys have got the sprint skill. Let's pull these cavalry over here, actually. Right, it looks like their militia are actually coming down the hill, so move our cavalry around this flank. Looks like they're actually trying to... Well, I mean, if you're gonna get that close to us, right? Let's just cut them down nice and quickly. Oh yeah, these militia are confident for about 3 seconds. Now, we don't actually need to obliterate their armies, since it will be a very easy siege after this. These Ashgar are getting absolutely fucking massacred. Right, I think we might actually just have to engage. Right, let's pull these guys around that flank. Pull these light cavalry out. Keep the Nodachi Samurai moving up. Or the Naginata Samurai rather. Keep them moving up the hill. Let's engage them as quickly as we can. Pull these guys around the side. Just pull these Tetsugos around there. Have these cavalry start moving around that way. So I was going to use Kisho stealth to engage their archers, but we don't need to do that anymore. Right, let's pull one general up in the front here, or on the side, and this general can start coming around this way. So a lot of their forces are just exhausted. Get our monks to start war crying, try and break their morale a bit faster. Just inspire them. Let's just try and break these Ashgari.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord!
Pull these cavalry up. Pull our archers up a bit further. Naginata Samurai are taking some casualties, but that's fine. Try and engage their generals. Right, let's pull these guys out. Because they're taking far too many casualties. I'd rather not lose a unit of Naginatas if I can help it. And these guys are samurai. They're perfectly fine as melee units as well. One of our general's bodyguard has taken quite a few casualties, actually. Let's just finish them off, just a solid melee. These Ashgari are just getting massacred as well, so let's try to pull them out. We'll pull them out. These Yumi Yamabushi will be more than enough to handle them, I should think. They're only militia after all. Once we've got their generals on the route. So their general's shattered as well, so this should be... Yeah, there you go, and their army, as soon as their general's shattered, their army just begins to flee. Right, let's chase some of these men down. Just triple speed that for a bit. Naginata Yamabushi can just finish off some of those Yari militia. You can move forward and take those ones out. Simple battle.
Fatigued, my lord.
We're pretty close to losing a couple of our units there, but not close enough.
fatigued, my lord, and some must rest.
The men are fatigued. What, chasing across the battlefield, running down all these men? Yeah, I'd have thought so, yeah. If they weren't fatigued, I'd be disappointed. So even these men that have technically left the battlefield, this is something you guys might not have known. Even men that, like, when a unit hits the border, you can't target your men to chase them down anymore. If you move your regiment on top of them whilst they're running away, they still actually get some kills on them. Which is can be pretty important for just getting those extra couple of kills to break a unit and have it not survive the battle. And the more you know. This army, once it's captured this castle, will need to move south to prepare to fight the Kasai. So, pretty stand-up fight there, I'd say. Alright, let's siege that castle down. What I will do is I will actually hold this siege, because I think they'll come out and fight us, which will be a bit easier. I could auto-resolve it, but I've got a couple of units that are a bit low on numbers. Do I care? Nah, let's just auto-resolve it. Ooh, so we did lose the 2 units I thought we might. That's okay though. So another castle down. You can always get those units re-recruited without too many problems. So let's build that up. Samurai village, yep, not having that. Let's knock that down. Food stores, knock them down. OU, knock that down. What have you got here? Coal mine. Not sure how much I care about coal mines, but we'll turn this into a... Oh, we might want the OU in that case. Yeah, we'll keep the OU, yeah, but we'll knock the food stores down and build something else there. I think we'll build maybe an entertainment place, because unrest is a bit of an issue in places with mines. So, yeah, we'll do that. And we do need to recruit a couple of units that did just get wiped. So let's get recruiting a couple of Naganatas. Oh wow, we can get lots of them. Alright, in that case we won't recruit any more Naganatas. Let's go down to Novasara and finish recruiting these 4 units of Yumi Ashgari, which we apparently didn't have. Yeah, let's keep on training some Ashgari. There's nothing wrong with getting some more Ashgari. And then we already have maximum Mogami Yari Samurai. Should be in this army. Yeah, this army's got all the Yari Samurai and things. Let's just recruit a couple of... Let's just recruit Nodachi Samurai for now. Since we are playing quite aggressively. So this army should come out to fight us next turn, and they will lose. They will lose. So we do actually need the intensive mining tech. That's what we'll grab after this. We'll go for intensive mining. We might go for textile techniques as well, just so we have the option of building them when we conquer provinces with them. Some of these provinces do have improved irrigation instead of their whatever their... Oh, that's got iron as its province. Yeah, this is something I do need to double check. That's got forests, that would be lumber. I do need the food though, and like, as long as I've got one source of lumber and iron, I'm not that bothered. I do have a source of iron via trade, so I'm not hugely bothered by that. In fact, let's get one of these ships to start trading that iron, just so I do have access to it, because that might be relevant for constructing certain units and building certain buildings. So it's good to get access to many different resources. It's very good. Right, I think that'll be the end of the turn. And there should be one more battle before we're done with finishing the Nanbu off. Hatchiman's Flock. Flight doves have been seen circling the capital. +2 morale for all units or 50% town growth from ports. I don't have those many ports, so I'm going to grab the Warrior's Blessing. This monk is not actually relevant here anymore, so we'll just get him to minister here and then come down to Hanamaki Castle. Let's build a... I could build an Elder's House actually, I do need one of those, but that does increase overcrowding. So... Craftsman's House might be nice as well. Let's build a entertainment house there, because it's going to have a mine which is going to cause issues. Apparently they don't want to sally out to fight us, so I am absolutely fine besieging them. I am 100% okay with that. In the meantime, we can carry on building our economy up and training a couple more units. So we've got a couple of Ashigaru we could train. So we'll just build them down in Hanamaki because that's cheap. Let's train the expensive ones first. Look at the Naganawa Ashigaru. We'll just carry on trying to build our forces up because we do need to still be on the lookout for that. We do need more coin though. Because I do want to get these towns built up, and to do that I need stone and washi paper and that sort of thing. So and washi paper I need silk and a crafts workshop like this one. Right, washi paper maker, that one. That's what I need. Luxury goods workshop is not too bad either. But you need a very an incredibly economic focus. Like Hachinohe Castle has a entertainment house and a market. If I build a crafts workshop here and build luxury goods would mean these produce 10% more income. It also has a merchant colony and a harbour. So this is going to be one of my richest provinces probably from trade. So I do need to build this up into an urban town as quickly as possible. Right. Aside from that, yeah, I think we will save the money because we do want to get some more. We want to save the money so we can build buildings that make us more money, so we can make more money. That is the purpose of solidifying the north here, was to improve our economy. So it will be going over to winter. Now, whilst we're besieging an enemy town, we will take winter attrition. However, we are Northmen, so I think we'll take less attrition than the defenders will. So we're going to just suck it up, basically. I could move this army north to deal with the Nambu, and that would make the fight incredibly easy. Which I might do, actually. Now, the Nambu, I am worried that they still have some ships. So I am expecting perhaps some ships to come in and ruin our trade routes. Alright, it's tea ceremony. The black ship. Aha! The Portuguese ship has arrived. We discovered a Nambu army. Let's build the entertainment house up. Now, if this army were to move north, it wouldn't be in range of the castle in one turn, so I'd have to spend 2 turns getting there. And there's only 2 turns left for surrender, so this army's actually just going to start moving south. Let's get this monk to move down to Hanamaki Castle. Okie dokie. These troops are being led by, the Commissioner for Finance, which is good, because he's reducing the upkeep of all these samurai, which is something we would like him to do, since samurai are expensive. Although, saying that, samurai are about as expensive as actual, whatchamacallit, about as expensive as standard samurai, really, upkeep wise. Okay, so yeah, they should sally out on the first turn of winter. coming out to fight us. They're trying to demoralise our army. If they succeed, they might actually attack us. Not that demoralising our army would do anything, because we have a bunch of retainers, which act as inspirational troops, so... they did succeed in demoralising us, and we do now have... it is now winter. But because we have a castle in this province, we're not getting the winter attrition, so that's all well and good. Don't need to worry about that. Right, buildings. Let's see. Oh, building more roads is never bad. The town growth is fine. We will need that. But I kind of want to focus on building up Hachinohe Castle here. I would like to actually build this merchant village because that gives us bonus to trade income. All of our tariffs go up. I could build a pirate lair, which makes ships a lot cheaper. And you can get wacko units as well, which is another type of unit we could get access to. But the merchant village is just incredible. Like, a bonus to all of our income from tariffs is great. It really is very good. Like tariffs, all of these would go up by well, it would only be 1% to start with, but the more merchant colonies you get, the better. And the town growth, it gets plus 20% wealth generated from ports and extra town growth. So that would be also pretty good. I wouldn't also mind building up one of these ports here. And we're going to need naval expertise to build up one of these trading ports, which is there. Ugh. That's a nuisance. That is. I don't generally like going for naval expertise because I don't use it. Yeah. Alright, well, we'll get commerce guilds, we'll grab intensive mining. I think we'll then go for naval expertise to build our ports up. We don't have many ports, that's the thing. But the ports we do have, we need to make sure that they actually are giving us as many trade ships as possible and as many trade routes as possible. Because since we did just get tea ceremony, our relations with the rest of Japan are not actually that bad. They're not good, but the reduction from growing alliances and from territorial expansion is going down. So we would actually be able to secure some more trade routes. So I think that would actually help our economy a lot as well. So trying to secure extra trade routes is a good idea. Mind you, we will also be taking more territorial expansion negatives from declaring war on the Tozawa, which we will be doing soon. But not just yet. Let's see if the Nanbu want to come out and fight for Noheiji Castle, which they will. They will have to come out and fight. They won't give it to us for free. It'd be handy if they did. It would be very handy if they did, but that's not going to happen. And we have time on our side. We do have time on our side. We don't have to rush this. Now, I do have the option of, rather than trying to build up my economy, I could just continuously train more troops, because more towns means more money. And I could take the Tozawa out, which nobody's going to mind, because they're not allied with anyone. So that has crossed my mind as a possibility. So the monk's going to try and demoralise us, which it looks like our general is laughing at him, so yeah, that failed. And they're going to have to come out and fight us anyway. So, yep, mostly militia. We're just going to do a quick save. We have a very powerful army of experienced retainers. Our Daimyo is here, and we have a pretty solid force overall. We'll be able to make very good use of our cavalry if the map favours us. Now, it's quite forested around here, and also hilly. But the map favours us. They have to come and fight us. We've got a lovely little hill over here that we can use, or we could try and engage them down in the plains to make the most use of our cavalry. Alternatively, we could just try and advance and engage them on this hill if we can get there before them. We'll see. Okay, they've decided to attack us when it's foggy. Now that's going to impair their range units as well, but because of that information, we've got a pretty decent hill up here. We are on the defense, and it also gives us access to the plains. What we're going to do is we're going to just grab everybody and just stack them in this big column right here. So that's our entire army. And we're going to start moving them back onto this hill. So let's grab everybody and just start moving them back over here. We want our generals and the katana retainers and such, we want them probably over there. We don't want them ahead of our army though, so we're actually going to put them up on this hill. But our main force here should be, and because our general, our actual main daimyo, is the one that our opponents can see, we're going to pop him up on this hill and put him on stand and fight. And that should encourage our opponents to come up and have a little tiffle with us. Right, let's get the archers. We want the gunmen right at the front, since they'll be able to actually fire. I'm going to do this manually because 3 lines deep is how deep you want gunmen formations when you're using fire by rank. I think that's not quite 3. We stretch out a bit more. We can. Okay, so that's going to be our gun line, and our Yumis will go right up behind them. And this mountain cannot be crossed, or this hill here. They can't move men up there, so this entire flank is safe. We're going to have our units forward in Yari Wall at the front here. So we'll have the retainers on the right flank there, which is a bit sparser. And we'll have our katana units just chilling out on the left flank, because that's likely where they'll be needed. We should see their army heading towards us fairly soon. But all of our cavalry, because of the fog, will be undetectable. And I doubt our opponent's going to come up this way, so we can just charge them down the hill when the time is right, when our lines have engaged and their archers are open. Right, now we do want the... So now that I've got these guys in the correct spot, what we want to do is actually move them back behind the archers. Now this might seem a little weird, like I moved them out there and I'm moving them back, but I want to see how much ground they can really cover. Ooh, we didn't have all of them selected. We're going to move them back behind the archers, because that way, let's pull our general up a little bit. I just want to be able to see what kind of ground we can cover with all of our troops. I'm actually going to have the katana retainers on this right flank, in case they're needed to support there, whereas our bulk of our infantry will be on this left flank, where we are expecting the bulk of our opponents. Okay, so our general's going to pop down and stand and fight. He will not leave this hill, and he expects us to not let our opponents on this hill either. So he's going to move forward a little bit. Yeah, I needed to check this. Right, so I'm going to have to take him out of stand and fight, so he's not blocking the archers. Or I could just move everybody up a little bit, I suppose. No problem. Just move the archers up a bit. Yeah, there we go. He might take a little bit of arrow fire, but not enough that I'm worried. I can get all these guys to sit in the Yari Wall. Unfortunately, our Yari Wall is a little bit weak on this side. Mostly because it's Naginata units, secondly because, well, our retainers are a little bit thinly spread. On the plus side, though, these guys are absolutely mint fighters. I mean, they're experience rank 4. So, yeah, they are very, very powerful fighters. Now, they know where my general is. Apparently, they know where my cavalry are as well. So, where's their army coming from? Up here. There's some light cavalry as well. Let's pull our cavalry back a bit, so it encourages them to engage our force on the hill. In fact, we might have to move all the cavalry back behind the hill and then around again, because it looks like they want to engage my cavalry, which is the smart thing to do, push my cavalry out of their advantageous position. Which means I'm going to also have to turn my line. Otherwise, we'll be in a completely wrong spot. That's going to be awkward to try and figure out who goes where. Right, let's move the Naganatas. Let's just pull them back a bit. Actually, let's pull them back a lot. Pull the general out, stand and fight so I can move him. Katana retainers can pull back a bit. These guys are going to move back down into this forest. And then we're going to have to move our archers after that. Bit of an awkward position. They've now made us move. Right, we managed to scare their light cavalry away. They've been blocked up by our Naganatas, so that's a plus. Pull these guys down a little bit further. We're gonna have to move these guys back up on the hill. Move our general back a bit. So these Yari Ashgar are going to get massacred by my Yari retainers. My Katana retainers are coming to meet their Katana samurai that are charging up the hill. Pepper Ashgar are just laying down, smack down. Apparently these archers are just aiming the wrong way, which is always nice to see. Right, start pulling the cavalry back round this side.
Our general is in grave danger, my
Let's
lord!
get the Katana Ashgari to come out of the forest here. Some Naginata Ashgari there. Let's engage them with our Katanas. Okay, they're all engaged. Let's keep pulling these cavalry up on the hill here. Give these Katana Ashgari a quick inspire. Get our general to stand and fight. We've got to do that. I think the line is doing pretty well. Yeah, none of our range units have actually been engaged, which is absolutely fantastic. Managed to hold that line pretty well. And we are just going to smash this Naginata militia regiment. Except our generals, they're going to come around this flank a bit more. I'm going to just smash these Union militia in the flank and try and rout them. Now our two units of retainers out here are fighting by themselves, but that's fine. Oh, some Yari samurai that got all the way around to my retainers.
A glorious victory
That's fine.
will soon be yours!
It looks like their army's shattering after that cavalry charge. Yeah, that cavalry charge got them. As expected, they were not prepared for that. Right, let's get one of my fast units of cavalry. I have to get Katana Key over here. Or, yeah, Katana Key. And we'll just chase them down. Pull some more cavalry. Look at all these militia running away. Now this is the final turn of the siege, so I don't actually need to be doing this, but it is providing my cavalry with combat experience by chasing fleeing men that are not fighting back. Because yeah, it's about how many heads you take. It's not about whether those heads fought back when you took them. So if I just pull these guys and bunch them up like that, they'll get a lot of kills on those. So all I need to do is really just like move my cavalry in front of these regiments, because they're all bunched together. Putting them in long columns like this is generally pretty effective. There isn't many of those left, so let's pull them back in front of those. Katanaki are chasing down something. No, it's really hard to tell where there's still units on the battlefield because of all the fog. But I suppose that's why our opponent chose to fight in that terrain. Let's go chase those Naginata Ashigari. You're still chasing some Naginata militia and stuff. Go get those Yari Ashigari. I mean, this is the end of the fight anyway, we're just trying to score some extra experience for the cavalrymen. But as you can see, our retainers were fighting a unit of samurai and then a bunch of militia that jumped on top of them. They lost less than half their number and killed 200 men. They kick ass. You've got to keep those retainers around. They're just... early on in the game, a lot of people might play Master Strategy and decide, oh, the retainers are quite expensive, they're in small unit numbers. But even the retainer range units, like the Teppo and the Yumi retainers, they absolutely kick ass in melee combat. They're so good. And that some of the clans you can play actually have better retainers as like one of their faction abilities. I think the Miyoshi clan gets more retainers and they're stronger, which I've always wanted to toy around with. The only problem is like, it would be my daimyo, his army of retainers, and that would be it, and then you wouldn't be able to get any more retainers, and then one of your clan's like key points is like nullified after that. So yeah. We didn't kill enough of the routing units to actually just take the castle before the end of the turn, but we did capture it, so there you go. They tried to demoralize us, but it's fine. Nambu has been destroyed. Okie dokie. So, Samurai Town. Burn that down. This needs to be a commerce town because it's got a Pearl Divers village. So, let's see. In which case, we want a goods crafts workshop. And we'll go build those Pearl Divers up as well, because that will provide us with some good coin. So, the Nanbu have been pacified. And by pacified, I mean completely wiped off the map. Which is good for us. Good news for us. We will need to keep our army here for a little bit, just to keep the repression up, whilst we get the province under control. Probably be building a entertainment district there, just to keep the popularity up. Now, I had a shrine somewhere, yeah, I did a Nari shrine here, which lets us train Naginata nuns. They need tea, or we can't train them. Oh, they have ammunition. Are they gunmen? I think the Naginata nuns might have Teppo, which is pretty value. I'm not 100% sure on what all the units have, because, you know, it's a pretty extensive mod. Especially the warrior monks, because you get different types of monks from the 3 different types of temples you build. So you can, if you play a nation that's good with monks, like you could just have an army made of nothing but monks, very easily. And warrior monks are insane. Like, they're a bit weak to like range units, but because they have Warcry, they just shatter militia just instantly. So they're pretty good for that. Anyway, that will be the end of the episode since we've gotten rid of the Nanbu. Just let me double check our tech. Yeah, we've got commerce guilds going. Public order seems to be perfect. Clan management, we're still noted. I don't want that to go up too high just yet. Yoshiaki's been pumping children out like there's nobody's business. Good job, son. You're doing the clan proud. In fact, how old are some of these? They won't actually tell me because they're not like direct heirs of my daimyo. So, but 2 of them are like children, and then these 2 are like slightly older. So. We'll have some more generals before the end of the campaign. That's another thing I like about Master Strategy, because the years are longer. If you do have heirs during the campaign, they actually do come into play, and they can actually like get quite powerful. They can become good generals. It also means you need to keep an eye on your generals dying of old age, because it can genuinely happen. My generals are quite young, really, so don't need to worry about that too much. Anyway, as I was saying, that'll be the end of the episode. So it's been me, Chef Commander Coffee. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.